Hello, everybody, and welcome to ANF Plus here tonight. Thank you for joining me. I apologize about the tardiness. We were having some technical difficulties here at Atlanta News First. That's me getting my thumbs up from our web team who are able to confirm that you guys can hear and see me. Technology always wants to work until you need it, and then you're having issues with it. But we're just about 2 minutes late here, and I do thank you for joining me. We've got a couple of things to talk about tonight. I've got 4 stories I want to run through with you really quick, and I'm going to tell you those technical difficulties may or may not keep slowing us down. We're going to see as we kind of roll through this. Just bear with me here. Let me turn my audio down a little bit. I'm a little loud there. That should be a little bit better. Like I was saying, we may or may not have some of those technical difficulties I was just talking to you guys about. Hopefully, it's not anything too rough, but I'm going to leave that alone. I'm not even going to push any buttons. I don't want to mess anything up. So we're going to start here with a story out of South Fulton where we learned that an officer accidentally shot themselves while going through post-training this morning, I should say. And it is a situation that thankfully doesn't have a tragic ending, but that officer is in the hospital, but they are non-life-threatening injuries. Here, take a look at the range. This is the scene from earlier. Atlanta News First went out there as soon as the South Fulton police chief gave us word. He says that this was at the David L. Haggins firing range, and that officer was going through that training and trying to holster his gun, and that is when the gun discharged and he shot himself. Now, police say it was a pretty serious injury, but thankfully, he was taken to the hospital immediately, and there was no further issue. He is expected to recover, and so we're keeping our eyes on that. But it just shows, how dangerous these situations can be and why this training is so necessary, because what you have is a situation where an officer going through this training injures themselves. You never want that. These men and women in blue are there to protect us, and so we are wishing them a speedy recovery. That facility is scheduled to be opened up just fine tomorrow. And then again, that is the David L. Haggins firing range. The next story I want to walk you guys through is one for the women out there. So you guys can listen up on this one, that a federal task force has actually moved up the recommended age for when you all should start getting mammogram screenings, those x-ray screenings that test for breast cancer. They've said that usually it's supposed to start at 50 years old, but they're saying you want to start getting them every other year beginning at 40. So obviously, breast cancer is a big thing here in the United States for all the wrong reasons. And you can see some of the stats here on your screen about why mammograms are so important. Older women, black women are especially affected by breast cancer. And, you've got thousands and thousands of women that are diagnosed every single year with breast cancer. It's one of the highest rates of cancer we have in the U.S. when it comes to something that's specifically going after women, unfortunately. And this task force is saying that this is something, screening sooner saves lives because you're detecting it sooner. You're detecting it before it even forms into cancer sooner. And then you can start treatment sooner. And that's really what matters, because when you're playing around with cancer, those days and weeks and months really, really matter. So 40 years old, there's nothing wrong with going to get screened early. And it really could save your life, especially if you or your family genetically has a history of cancer or breast cancer. It matters. It can be genetic. So keep your eyes on that one. The next one I want to talk to you guys about is something coming out of the State House today, House Bill 383, which is a new bill that's going to add healthcare workers to a list of those employees better protected from assault. People who assault healthcare workers are going to face harsher penalties. Now, this actually came out a day before the Midtown shooting, which is some very ironic, tragic timing there. But basically, healthcare workers, 1 in 4 report they have been assaulted in some regard in the last year, which is way, way too high. But you understand these people are dealing with a lot of people at their lowest moments when it comes to, experiencing loss, tragedy, illness, disease in a hospital. So people's emotions get heightened, but they're just trying to do their jobs. They're saving lives every single day, but they are the victims of assault. So now House Bill 383 is going to make harming a healthcare worker have harsher penalties, just like assaulting a police officer. Same kind of thing there. Another protected employee in our state to better protect the people driving this ambulance, the people inside Grady Hospital, everyone that you're looking at right here. It matters. That is why they are doing this. A national story. I want to blow it out here really quick, and you probably know where I'm going with this. Donald Trump, a guilty a judge and a jury found him liable for sexually abusing Jean E. Carroll back in 1996 in a luxury department store dressing room. This is one that's been going back and forth for a while now. We've heard a lot from Carroll. We've heard a lot from Trump. Trump has said on multiple occasions, including today after that ruling was read, that he does not know this woman and this is, complete hearsay and this didn't happen. She, who you're looking at right now, made it very clear that this did happen. And while that case was back and forth and we've been piecing together bits and pieces to come out of that courtroom, today the jury came down and they said, we find him, guilty of sexually abusing her in that civil case. This is not a criminal case. This is a civil case, as well guilty of defamation. And so now he's going to have to be paying up an undisclosed amount to that writer after this case that lasted, a couple of weeks here, got him on several charges. Now, don't forget that this is just one of the many situations that have been, surrounding, hanging over Donald Trump's head. Just last month, he was indicted for those alleged hush money payments by the New York District Attorney, Alvin Bragg, which is, something he's now dealing with. And we've got Fonnie Willis, the Fulton County District Attorney right here in Georgia, also possibly waiting on an opportunity to drop an indictment on the former president sometime this summer, she says, that will be coming down. And so it has been a tumultuous couple of months here for the former president, and this all is as he continues to push forward in campaigning for re-election for the White House in 2024. He served one term back from 2016 to 2020. He then lost that election to Joe Biden in 2020, and now here we are getting geared up for 2024. He has announced his candidacy, and as the polls look right now, with Joe Biden having no clear contenders as far as his competition and Donald Trump leading the polls, way too early. We're a year and a half out, but this could be a 2020 rematch. We'll wait and see, though. But Donald Trump the jury found him guilty of that sexual abuse case from 1996. That's what I've got for you today. Just a couple of quick stories there. Again, I apologize for the late start. I apologize for some of the technical glitches here. As you can see, I've had no words down here at the bottom of my screen because they're not working. But you could hear me. You could see me. That's what really matters. And I bet you could feel that heat today. We're talking about, you want to, hear, feel, see the senses. That heat was not playing around today. I've got meteorologist Patrick Pete here to talk about, I guess, what is it going to be? A little bit better tomorrow, a couple sprinkles in and out today, but this Mother's Day might be a hot one, right?
It's going to be a hot one. No doubt about it. The forecast will trend hotter. Thankfully, the showers have started to come to an end across the area today. And as you can see, as we take a look out at Truist Park, folks are out there at the game. And it's feeling pretty good. A little sticky out there, but thankfully we will see that trend go south as we head through the next couple of days. So happy Tuesday. Hopefully you're having a fantastic Taco Tuesday. Shrimp tacos maybe, fish tacos, steak tacos. Any tacos. It's a good night for it. Meanwhile, the forecast for tomorrow is going to trend a little less humid, and we're going to see lots of sunshine. Sun and clouds, mainly sunny through the bulk of the day. Temperatures are going to still get into the 80s, but it's going to feel noticeably better than it felt today. Meanwhile, we're going to continue that mainly dry trend into Thursday. I am watching for some isolated pop-ups, but they're mainly in extreme West Georgia, so I don't think that most of us are going to see that, and I'll actually show you why. And then as we head into the weekend, temperatures are really just going to soar, and we're going to get to the 90-degree mark for the first time since last September. So let's get you through tomorrow, which is looking pretty fantastic. Lots of sunshine throughout most day parts. Some high clouds try to trickle in. It's going to be a good day to get some things done outside. I know a good day for a car wash, all that good stuff. As we head into the evening hours, guidance continues to pick up on a slight rain chance, but the reason why we're not including it in a lot of the graphics is because that rain chance is going to be pretty late in the day. We don't expect those showers to start to trickle in until like 9, 10, 11 o'clock, and it's not going to be for everybody. It's going to be that extreme southwestern corner of our viewing area. So going to be a pretty solid day all in all in comparison to what we saw today with those spotty showers and thunderstorms. Meanwhile, temperatures are going to be comfortably in the mid to upper 60s. I highly recommend rolling down the window as you head into work tomorrow morning. It's going to feel fantastic, drier air. 77 degrees around lunchtime, so we are quickly warming. Good day to maybe eat lunch out in the park. And if you're like everyone that you've seen on our newscast this evening, if you work the second half of the day, maybe even good to get out and about and go for a nice bike ride or jog earlier in the morning, since it's going to be less humid and quite nice, getting into the lower 80s, and we kind of max out near 84 degrees in the afternoon. Meanwhile, we are watching for more clouds on Thursday, and there is a stray sprinkle possible. That rain chance on Thursday is only about 20%, and you'll see why. What happens as we head into the afternoon is the bulk of that moisture starts to bubble up, but you can see that it's out in Alabama, and you can get a stray sprinkle across portions of extreme western Georgia. But I think the further east we are, like Atlanta, Covington, Athens, Eatonton, the lower that rain chance is. That moisture just it can't funnel eastward. It just stays out west near the Alabama-Georgia border. And here is the reason why. What we're looking at is an area of high pressure that's going to set up. And that high pressure essentially causes things to flow clockwise around it. And it's so strong, even though it's going to be shifting to the east, it's going to kind of keep a ridge hugging the Georgia border. So that means that any rain that wants to fire up and move east, it's really going to have a hard time doing so. So the rain chances are going to be pretty low. But in addition to that, it's going to continue to sit there as we head into Mother's Day weekend, and that's going to have those temperatures cooking. So we're going to bubble up, and we're going to get into the 80s and then near 90 degrees for not only one day in the forecast, but for 2 days. I know lots of you are looking forward to Mother's Day weekend, and you're trying to make plans to get out and about. And if you're trying to do it on Saturday, just because maybe mom has a full schedule on Sunday, sunny skies, temperatures are going to be warm. We're going to top out in the mid 80s across the region. But by Sunday, we're going to click that up a couple of notches. We're going to get up to about 90 degrees. And there is a chance for showers in the forecast, but that rain chance is on the lower end. Once again, that dome of high pressure is going to be shifting to the east, and it's going to allow for an isolated shower. But I don't think that most of us are going to see that. So that's going to allow for just an unseasonably warm, hot summer-like opportunity. If I had to make a recommendation, the recommendation would be to maybe invite mom over, grill out in the backyard, hang out outside, good game of spades. If you have a pool, I don't. But if you have a pool, maybe a day by the pool, have that First Alert weather app. So if any of those pop-ups come out your way, you'll be alerted to those pop-ups in your neighborhood. But all in all, a warmer trend. Once again, 79 degrees this time of year should be the number that we're aiming at, and we are going to be significantly above that as we head, especially into the weekend, where we're talking 10 plus degrees warmer than average a couple of afternoons. We're going to continue to fine-tune this forecast, because with all of this warmth and all of this southerly flow and the moisture coming in and out of the forecast, it's definitely a lot to keep up with, and that's why we have so many newscasts and we have so many methods for you to get information from us. So with that being said, we know that it's Tuesday night, and you could probably try to eat some tacos. I'm going to leave you to that, but our work is not done here. Our teams are hard at work behind the scenes. It's been a lot of interesting stories in the news today, and it's all been happening over the course of the last few hours. So they're going to have updates on all of that stuff. And then, of course, the meteorologist, Fred Campagna, and myself, we're going to have the latest on the forecast. And, we always tweak the forecast a little bit toward the end of the night, because we start to get another round of data in. So we're going to go and look through that data, sift through it. And if you want to catch what our tweaks are, you can catch us tonight at 9, 10, and 11. So I'll leave you with the 7-day forecast and that view of Truist Park. I'll go back and forth between it every couple of seconds for you, so that you can kind of make your plans. But we'll see you tonight on the airwaves. Happy Tuesday.